Danny Green. Retired on top after becoming WBA light heavyweight champion.
I'm the official world champion!
But one loss has haunted him ever since.
Danny Green gave it everything he could.
The game isn't over. Green steps back into the ring against South African champion Anthony van Niekerk. It's a matter of unfinished business. And for the Green Machine, it all begins tonight.
Unfinished business. Our main event is up next on Main Event Boxing, live around Australia. We hope you've enjoyed the undercard. Danny Green and Anthony van Niekerk. Our main event just a couple of minutes away. Final thoughts, Barry, what's going through Danny Green's mind at the moment, making a comeback after 16 months out of the ring?
I'm sure Danny would be thinking about that because, you know, like before every fight, you think to yourself, because you train so hard and it takes so long and all the waiting, and you think, what am I doing this for? You know? And, you know, Danny's climbed the mountain more than once, but, you know, look, I think, you know, once he comes out to the ring and hears the roar of the crowd, and once those first punches land, mate, it's all focus, and I think you're going to see a good performance from Danny Green.
We haven't seen a lot of Anthony van Niekerk. We were able to source some vision from about 8 or 9 years ago. Paul, as an athlete, how difficult is it going into a one-on-one contest not knowing or seeing a great deal of your opponent?
I think at this level, Danny would not pick an opponent that he didn't feel comfortable that he would be able to handle. And I just think that you know, I think we're going to see the best Danny Green we've ever seen tonight. I think this break is going to have done him wonders, and I think he's going to come back hungrier than ever. I just love how he looks at the moment. He looks so strong, he looks big, he looks comfortable in his skin, and which is just so unlike anything that we've seen with him fighting in the super middleweight limit.
It was December 16, 2007 in this venue, in this very ring, where Danny Green climbed to the top of the mountain. It is when he won the WBA light heavyweight title. Stipe Drew's only loss was also to our co-commentator, the muscle man himself, Paul Briggs. This wasn't a victory, this was a demolition. Drew's, I don't think, wanted to be here on the night, and Green outpointed him in every possible aspect of the game.
When he felt Danny's power, and I think the first or the second, probably the first, I think it was, he the look of fear on his face, and you're right, he didn't want to be here, and he didn't win a single round. Danny totally dominated, but there's a beautiful right hand, but you've got to, you know, take your hat off to this man next to me, because he put the first loss on, the only other loss on a very capable Stipe Drew's record with a big victory in Brisbane, wasn't it, Paul, I think, or in Queensland?
Yeah. No, it was in Sydney.
So. Oh, was it? You knocked him down a couple of times.
Bush,
3 times. But in saying that, I think that, you know, you can't take anything away from Danny in that fight. I know Danny's copped a hell of a lot over that. That was his world title fight. He fought like a champion.
He did.
And he became champion because he fought like a champion. Yep. You cannot help the fact that the guy you're fighting has no heart.
Exactly right. You're only fighting the guy that you're presented with, and it was Stipe Drew's on that night. Whether Drew's wanted to be here or not, Danny Green did the job and did himself, his corner, and our country proud. However, this week has been a different one, and even he admits there are some nerves.
Yeah, can't wait. I'm like a dog with two tails. I'm very excited and back. You know, I feel I'm back where I belong. So I can't wait. It's been a great preparation. My coach Angela Hyder and myself, the strength and conditioning team, Hayden Knowles, Craig Carrick, we've done a fantastic job, and I'm just so pumped to be walking in the ring tomorrow night. I'm kind of jumping out my skin. I got to get there now. So.
And what are you expecting from Van Niekerk?
Look, he can fight off the back foot and he can fight off the front foot. So he can come forward and throw him, and he can go off the back foot and fight him fight off the back foot with a good jab. So. You know, it's for me. I just want to be impressive, and I want to be, I want to be explosive and powerful. So I'm just looking to try and be as loose and relaxed as I can, pick my shots, and the most important thing is enjoy myself.
Hey Barry, how are you, mate?
Anthony Van Niekerk from South Africa and Danny Green from Western Australia, our two combatants in our main event. Van Niekerk in his 30th fight, Danny Green in his 29th, so very little separates as far as experience is concerned. Van Niekerk with a positive record too. Looking at the tail of the tape and the height and read advantage, most importantly, Barry, going to Danny Green.
Definitely, you know, Danny's a bit taller and, you know, he looks bigger, but, you know, saying that, what the little bit of footage I've seen of Van Niekerk, he looks pretty impressive. He looks like, as they said, he comes to fight, he can box, he can, you know, throw punches coming up and backing off. Looking at his record, I've had a very in-depth look at his record. He's won 5 out of his last 6 fights. So, I mean, you know, they haven't picked, you know, they picked a guy that's going to come to fight, and that's exactly what Danny wants. But as Danny said, and I really believe it, I think he's in the best frame of his mind ever, in the best physical condition, and I think he's going to look good up there tonight.
Just 0.3 of a kilo separates the two, and the joint here is an absolute buzz. It is sold out. Some 4,500 people awaiting the arrival of their man, the Green Machine. First out, it will be Anthony Van Niekerk from South Africa on Anzac weekend here in the Golden West. Main event boxing, your home. Proud to present unfinished business live around Australia.
Have a look at this arena. It's just pumping. It's just jam-packed to the rafters. This is what you call a world-class quality promotion.
They've done a great job now, whether you want to call it the road to redemption or the road to gold. It is Danny Green's road, and he has chosen this journey.
Look, I reckon a credit to him. I admire him for doing what he's done. I mean, he's won 2 world titles before at super middleweight and light heavyweight, and he's coming back for another crack. And, you know, as I said before, unfinished business is the most apt title you could possibly think of.
I'm just absolutely stoked that Danny Green is back. He's besides the fact that he's a mate of mine, I just love watching the guy fight. You know, he's a blood and guts fighter, and he's just awesome to watch. And it's great for Australian boxing.
He's great for boxing. Yep,
that's right.
And Green Machine Boxing,
waiting for the arrival of Anthony Van Niekerk, coming to us from South Africa. It's not going to be much of a reception. Here he comes into enemy territory, if you like, and marching towards the red corner. Physically very similar in dimension to Danny Green. Not a lot of differences. Roughly the same age, roughly the same experience. And now one of our warriors is in centre ring, and it is time for Danny Green. He'll be led to the ring tonight by daughter Chloe, and on Anzac weekend, 2 Vietnam veterans in Chris Clark and Peter Harris. As the music dies down, and we are from the land down under on a fabulous weekend on the Aussie calendar, and Australian pride is never going to be more evident than in the next 5 minutes. 16 months out of the ring. Over 12 months since he announced his retirement from professional boxing. Retirement was an option, not a choice, and not the right choice, because Danny Green wants back into the ring. How important is the mind games here, Barry? Danny Green making Anthony Van Niekerk wait, and he will continue to make him wait.
Well, you know, this guy's only fought outside of South Africa once, I think, and he lost the decision that was disputed. But look, it's a tough call when you go to someone's country and, you know, the crowd, you know, 100% behind your opponent, and, you know, and he keeps you waiting in the ring. The psychological side of boxing is underestimated. I used to always love the psychological battle with my opponent prior to the fight, and you know, Danny's very good at it. He's very strong-minded, very strong-willed, and he's trying to upset his opponent, no doubt. Well, not upset him, but just make him worry.
Rattle him. Exactly right.
Rattle him's the word.
And a long wait for Van Niekerk. A long wait for the crowd. The noise starts. The green machine flags. Flying high on home soil. It has been 16 months since we've experienced it. Quite simply, on Anzac weekend. Welcome back, Green Machine. It's a long wait. It's going to be worth the wait. Because here comes Danny Green. It is a lonely walk through the tunnels of Challenge Stadium. He can hear the music. He can hear the crowd. He is soaking it up as he walks into the auditorium. Australia, here comes the returning Green Machine.
There's nothing like this buzz for a boxer. This is just unbelievable. An unbelievable feeling.
He loves the bright lights. He loves to fight. Let's go centering, Matt Campbell.
Right around Australia are proud to present tonight's main event. This light heavyweight bout is scheduled for 10 3-minute rounds. Introducing, fighting out of the red corner, weighing in at 81.5 kilos, wearing the black and green trunks, His professional record, 21 wins, 13 by way of knockout, 6 losses and 2 draws. He is trained by Mike Schultz, and for the second time in his professional career, he ventures out of his beloved South Africa, coming all the way from Johannesburg, Anthony van Niekerk. His opponent in this blue corner, wearing his traditional black trunks with a green trim, weighing in at 81.8 kilos. His outstanding professional career, 55 times he has ventured into the ring for 48 wins. Trained this evening by Angelo Hyder, his brother Brendan Green in his corner. From right here in Perth, Olympian, former WBA light heavyweight champion of the world, Danny the Green Machine Green. Your judges for this light heavyweight bout, Carl Zapier, Dean Woodhams and Harry Coburn. Representing the Combat Sports Commission of Western Australia, Annette Backshaw and Bill van der Linden. Your timekeepers, Brian Reid and Leanne Kehoe, and your referee will be Mr. Gary Ingraham. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the Anzac Day weekend. I ask you all to be standing. I ask you all to remove your hats and caps. And I ask you all to be silent for our ceremony as a sign of respect for our diggers. It is not the man in the fight, but the fight in the man. For all those that have gone before us to make this great country of ours free, we thank you, and as a tribute and sign of respect, we will now play The Last Post, lest we forget. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
You've heard it all weekend. How good is being an Australian? It does not get any better than this weekend. On behalf of all the principals, we hope you've had a wonderful Anzac weekend. It is main event boxing, live around Australia. The return of Danny Green. And we're on 10 rounds, international contest. Danny Green after 16 months out of the ring. He returns, and standing across from him, Anthony van Niekerk from South Africa. No holding. Van Niekerk has just worn a couple of short uppercuts from Danny Green.
Just felt Danny's strength up close, I think.
Oh, Van Niekerk blocked with the left hand.
Oh, he was hurt with that left hook.
He has been stung in the opening 40 seconds.
Danny is so relaxed. He's so relaxed in there. When you are that relaxed, that's when you can just unload devastating punches.
Mate, he looks so strong and powerful.
Van Niekerk lashing out that left hand. Green's variety far stronger, far straighter. As you saw there, far more accurate.
Niekerk's felt the power already.
Beautiful again, Green.
Snaps the jab.
There is no combination like absolute fitness and a little bit of maturity to boot. The year that Danny Green's had off will now be paying dividends. The clarity that he will have in there, from having that little break from boxing.
I'll tell you a story also about Danny Green, and it's one that has not received a lot, if any, publicity. Danny had major right hand issues coming out of the Olympics in 2000. The year off and the use of a product supplied by his trainer tonight, Angelo Hyder, in Pain Away, has the right hand as good as it has been in 12 years for Danny Green. Expect to see it tonight.
Yes, Angelo Hyder told me, he said his right hand, he hasn't been able to use it properly for years. And he said the Pain Away, which is getting a lot of advertising on 3AW and other radio stations in Melbourne, absolutely brilliant for arthritis and pain. And it's he says his right hand's he said he will knock him out with the right hand, he thinks. But I'll tell you what, his left hand's looking pretty good here in the opening couple of minutes of the first round.
Certainly does. Almost 2.5 minutes into the contest. Round number 1 of 10.
Beautiful head movement there by Danny Green. That's something that we just haven't seen from Danny Green.
No, Anthony van Niekerk throwing good sharp punches, but not landing with anything.
Looks incredibly cut above the waist, doesn't he, Danny Green? Looks in great physical condition. Van Niekerk, from what we've seen so far, looks a little awkward.
He's got pretty quick hands. He moved pretty well. I'll tell you, he was badly shaken with that first short left hand, left hook, or half hook.
Green over the top again, and really beating Van Niekerk to the punch. 3 minutes in. So far, so good for one Danny Green. Wife Nina watching on, along with long-time mate and former Newtown Rugby League hardman, Big Stevie Bowden, as we go into the corner with Angelo Hyder.
Beautiful left hook. See what happens when you lose?
Secret men's business in the corner, Barry.
It certainly was. We couldn't hear what was going on there between Angelo Hyder and Danny Green, but look at that left hook.
Second down, round 2.
Danny Green has always had a problem with staying relaxed. I've done spuds so many rounds with Danny, and he's always been very, very tense, very intense.
He's a very...
it's always been to his detriment. I think if you could just really relax him, which he's the most relaxed I've ever seen him, and more fluent in his movement. That's when he's going to become absolutely devastating. Not that he hasn't been in the past.
Oh, there goes that little left hook. He's slipping and sliding well in that first round there, Danny Green, looking, totally in control. At the moment, like Angelo said, watch his right hand, but the left, I think he's going to bowl this bloke with the left hand.
Green dominating that centre square. Seeing things well, seeing things easily thus far.
Yeah. Danny getting caught with a short right hand then.
Yeah, not a bad little right hand from Van Niekerk.
Yeah, and a stiff left hand from Green was the retaliation.
Danny relaxing inside there. That was beautiful. Couple of body shots and then he just relaxed and went tap, tap, tap. That's the sort of stuff that gives your opponent a false sense of comfort when you're just touching him on the inside and then bam, you let him have a good one.
Little has changed structurally in what Danny is doing. He's often a wider stance in his feet earlier in the fight as he just gets into his rhythm and his range. His composure level is good. They start getting a little bit tougher now, a little bit harder the punches.
His left jab, look at that.
Beautiful jab.
Like being hit with the right cross. That left jab is just so potent.
Over the top with that right hand, shouldered away, just rolled a little bit Anthony Van Niekerk, so he too saw the punch coming.
Right, step back.
That hurt, that left hook.
Danny Green's rolled him a couple of times, but he's having a crack, this guy. Knew he would. But Danny Green totally in control here.
No holding, work out of it.
You can hear our referee very clearly there. Gary Ingraham.
What's the hold? No, what's the hold?
Final 45 seconds of round number 2. Oh, beautiful straight right hand from Green. That's got the South Africans' attention.
It's over, I think. 5, 6, 7, 8. Come on, turn around. Are you right? You want to go? You right? Come here. 30 seconds to go.
Will he see out the round? The road to redemption. It begins for Danny Green. 16 months out of the sport, and he returns a victor in just the second round.
Wow. And looked absolutely devastating doing it.
Wow.
Relaxed, showed poise, showed absolute power.
One word describes that right hand. Ouch. Ouch.
Unbelievable.
Anthony Van Niekerk in the corner, receiving some attention. He's been split over the right eye. Danny Green sucking up the adulation of the fans. And all the training, all the hard work, the second guessing that would have gone on over the last 2 months. It is worth it because Danny Green has finished and finished in style.
Did he ever?
And he's back.
That was incredibly impressive, Paul.
Incredibly impressive. For a guy who's been out for, 16 months, 14 months?
It's a comeback.
In the purest form.
And he looked absolutely relaxed and smooth.
Beautiful. The best I've ever seen Danny Green.
Yep.
Yeah, the best you've seen?
The best I've ever seen him. Relaxed.
And so powerful.
Confident. Balanced. Strong.
Let's go centering the mat.
Ladies and gentlemen, this fight was stopped at 2 minutes 42 in the second round. Your winner by TKO from the blue corner, Danny the Green Machine Green. Danny, while I've got you, we'll go on this one here. Mates, welcome back. You know what?
I've finally got a right hand back. Since the Olympic Games, I've rarely had a right hand that's been able to use properly, and tonight I was just letting it go a couple of times and it felt like a whip, and I'm just really happy to catch him clean. And I've been out of the ring for a while, guys. I'm stoked, and the most important thing, guys, first and foremost, the most important thing is the weekend that I fought on is the most important weekend in our history. And to all those diggers, we can't pay enough respect for the way of life we've got today.
Mate, it was only 2 rounds, but you look nice and relaxed. You look comfortable. You look happy to be back in the ring.
You know what? I think if I fought King Kong tonight, it would have been the same. I just felt great, and the right hand was working beautifully, and I just picked my shots. I just wanted to relax in there. And just a quick word to Johnny Zappia, Carl Zappia's brother, who's doing it tough at the moment with you. Johnny, keep punching, champ.
Are you rejuvenated now you've had the break? We know you're competitive. We know you love to win, but now do you just feel as though, I'm ready to go again?
Guys, I'm back.
And one last one, Danny. You've got rid of one Anthony tonight. There's another Anthony on the horizon.
Firstly, I'd just like to thank Frank Lawton from Wareside Construction, who helped sponsor the event. All my sponsors, Jeff McGinn, the boys at NRW, Paul O'Neill, the crew at Boost, Mac and Ford, and all the crew that's supporting on the way. My great team, I can't forget my team, my new coach Angela Hyder, done a mad job, H. We loved every minute of it, and I just wish that I could have gone harder tonight, but I caught him clean, and not many people would have stood up to that shot. So thanks for Niekerk coming over and giving me a good show while you had it, mate. That's all you could do, mate. Good work, buddy. My brother BG, Rocco, Whizzer, Billy Bob, Salty, Patrick De Valeres, all the crew, and a special thanks to Green Machine Promotions who put the event on once again, did a splendid job. Justin Ogers, Pauline Wilson, Wayne Loxley, and last but not least, Mickey Wushka Pemba and Anthony Mundine. You gone to middleweight. You called me out. If you wear one of them, it's lights out. It's lights out.
Unfinished business. The Green Machine is back.
Unfinished business. And the war of words has begun already. Not surprisingly, Danny Green, Anthony Mundine, Mark II. That is where we're headed. Without doubt. Danny Green started on the road to redemption, the road to gold, or maybe both. A very positive comeback for the Green Machine. A second round stop out on a night that we also saw maybe the end of Gary Sinclair. And some impressive performances. It was great to see Danny Green. On behalf of the entire team, it's been our pleasure. Hope you had a great Anzac weekend. Good night from Perth.
This is a Fox Sports production for Main Event.